Greetings, my beautiful IP Resilience friend. This is your host, Ilona, and in front of me, I have a most amazing guest, and she's Jen Du Plessis. And hear this: she's a real estate ambassador. She has two podcasts. She's a coach. She's a mentor of the loan officers. She's also a global speaker, and she's also a TV host of Tell Me I Can't. And here we are welcoming you, Jen. So, how are you today?
I'm great. And thank you so much for having me on your show. I sure appreciate it.
Well, you have just got, again, Amazon best-selling. So please tell us
Yeah,
about your book. I know you have it in front of you, so please show us. We want to
I
know
do.
all
Yeah, I'll be
about this.
happy to show it to everybody. Yeah, it's called Tell Me I Can't. And it's a fiction book. So this is the first fiction book I've done. So many of us in our industry, do self-help and personal development, that type of thing. And, I wanted to do a fiction book around self-help and personal development. So this book is about a character who is charged with um, turning her town around after the pandemic. And, everyone's telling her she can't. That's not possible. She can't do it. And she's telling herself she can't in the book. And so some of the thought patterns that she has are experiences and challenges that I've had in my life with people telling me I can't do something and can't achieve something because I'm a woman, or I'm too young or too old, or too, I don't come from the right economic thing. And so the hope here is that the women that are reading this book, and it really is pegged for women, the hope is that women reading this book will say, you know what, she has a gift, and my thoughts are in there, my philosophies are in there, and I've got that gift too. And so now get out of my way, watch what I can do, turn the impossible into possible.
I love the message. You are so bold and you're challenging everyone who is sitting right now and probably doubting herself or themselves, telling the same thing, I can't, even though something inside of you tells you that, yes, I can. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about your upbringing. What was messages? How did you grow up, and why you got to where you are right now? What was this passion that led you to where you are?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. I grew up, I'm one of 36 first cousins, and I grew up as the only one who was an only child of all those. And my family was the poorest, and my father was an alcoholic. My mother was a verbal abuser. And I was told by one of my uncles, who I love dearly, even to this day, that I would be just like them. I would amount to nothing. I would be poor. I would smoke, drink, yell at people, whatever the circumstances were. And my nickname was Jenny who ain't got a penny. And so, for me, what I didn't quite understand it. Obviously, I carried a penny around in my shoe for a long time. And every time he said that, I'd say, ha ha ha, I have one. And, later there was a circumstance, I don't want to go into it on the show, but there was a really deep circumstance that triggered me to say, this is not going to happen. I'm going to show them, I'm going to prove to him that I can succeed. And so my entire life was doing that. I was runner up Miss Colorado. I was a state champion tennis player. I was a pre-med for cardiology. You name it, I did. I played flute and piccolo in the Colorado Springs Symphony in high school. No one else was in there. So I overachieved. And then I took that, of course, into my business life, but I overachieved in everything, proving to them that I'm not Jenny who ain't got a penny, until one day, about 12 years ago, when I'd had enough of that. I had a second epiphany, a second turning point, where I had good success, but I was killing myself to do it. Long hours, putting everything else, second. I wasn't first. Everything was first. Everything else was first. And, I said, okay, I'm done proving. Now I'm going to start living. And so now that I've been in this mode, and what happened was that my business exploded in a beautiful way. And it wasn't the intent. The intent was, there's got to be a better way to make money, be successful, and not work your fingers to the bone. And I cracked the code. And so now I talk about that code on how people can live a life of luxury, which isn't exactly what you think it is.
This is so powerful, Jen. And, you know, hearing your story, I can tell you why you're passionate. You know, behind every success, there's always why you do what you do. And, you know, you're overachiever because you were trying to, you know, prove others that no, what you said, you know, you're not define me. You cannot define my identity. This is not who I am. And you proving to everybody that just because you came from the, let's say, unsuccessful families, you don't have to be just like them. You're
No.
your own person with your own dreams, with your own desires that you can, you know, follow your dreams. But tell me this, what is the happiness to you?
For me, the happiest thing for me is being with my family, and that truly is the life of luxury. I think that mostly women, but sometimes I hear men say this is, well, she has the luxury of being able to go pick up her kids and go to school. He has the luxury of playing golf because he's not tied to his desk, right? And that's really what a life of luxury is. And it really stems from my mom one day telling me, I was telling her all the fun things that we were going to be doing. We're going here with the kids and doing this and that and the other. And she said, you have such a busy life and you have such a great quality of life. And I was like, oh, well, thanks. Except I don't think I want a quality of life. When the way that she said it hit me at that moment. And I realized, wow, I'm just trying to keep up with the Joneses. That's all I'm trying to do. What I really wanted instead of a quality life was a life of quality. And that's why I call it living a life of luxury, because it's not a luxurious life. Yes, we have things, we all have beautiful things, but truly what makes me happy and what I feel makes most people happy is finding that it's not a balance at all. I don't believe in that, but finding what they have in their life that makes that luxury. And if you look up the definition, yes, it says monetary and freedom, but it also says comfort. And it's the comfort of knowing that you're doing what you need to do to make an impact in the world and in your family around you, not an impact in your wallet. It's not all about that.
Amen to that, because this is exactly kind of like echoing to what I've wrote, you know, in a book of the success without apology. Success, sometimes people think you have to have money in your pocket or lots of funds in your bank, but it's opposite than that. It's a comfort, like you said, the peace of mind, the luxury that you can spend time with your children, these things that they like, and you enjoy as well too. So this is very, very good. So you have accomplished so much and achieved so many things. What's next for Jen Du Plessis?
Thank you. That's a great question. Nobody asked me that. And I would say, well, there are things in the cooking right now. We're cooking up a bunch of little things. I think what's next for me is, well, I would say on the peripheral is that, my husband retiring from his business and, finding something that he loves to do that isn't what he's been doing for 35 years or 30 years. I think that's just something that needs to happen. He had a medical issue last year. We almost lost him. So it's changed our trajectory and the way that we're going to traject. So that's number one for me. Again, going back to a life of luxury, it's all about my family, all about, taking care of ourselves. And then the other is that, I'm leading a movement for women speakers, not for women generally, but for women and men, but women speakers. There are just not enough or any women speakers that are rising to the top and staying in their feminine power. I feel like a lot of women that are speaking these days have they talk great on stage, but then under the sheets, their lives are a mess. And it's laden with, a lot of divorce, a lot of trouble, etc. And I also found that more and more women are using foul language on stage, trying to be like men. And I don't want to be the leader of the pack. I want a fleet of leaders. There's no one for my daughter to turn to right now. When she wants to learn something in business, she reads men's books and goes to men things. And there's just not enough women out there that are doing this in a really powerful, powerful way. So I'm creating a movement, and that's what Tell Me I Cant's part. The show is about that, but we're really, really taking that bigger and bolder this year.
I'm your biggest cheerleader in your vision. You have just spoken out. And I think what you have, like I just got a goosebumps as just, hearing your listening, your vision right now. And I think that you found the need, you found something like a cry that is needed right now in our age and time. So, and you taking it and, to the next direction. I know you will be very successful with that, Jen. I know that. And I think that lots of women out there will be so powerful and equipped and empowered by what you have just said and created for them.
Yeah,
I
well,
think it's
and I
going to
mean,
be
you
brilliant.
included. Well, and you included, and you know that, and but it's just that the super powerful women that we all think about on stage, when you think about one, you got to think who they are, because there's very few and far between. There's a lot of us that are kind of waiting around and meandering and saying, what are we going to do? But somebody's got to take the lead. And this is really based off of Jeff Hoffman, who's the co-founder of Priceline and the inventor of the kiosks. He is on my strategic advisory board. And he always says, they need to do something about that. And he said, we are they. And I said, well, I don't know if I could step into that power. And he said, no, you're going to step into that power. I'm going to be the they that says, come on, ladies, let's do this, and not be in someone else's wake. Right.
Mm. This is powerfully said, Jen, to be honest with you. So this is very instrumental. You're actually very bold and courageous, even though you get the no in your life, you turn this no to fire you up, to get what you need, to, keep going even further and further. And I love your passion when you said, just wait for me. You tell me I can't, watch what happens next. And that's what I love about you. And Jen, there's somebody out there who is struggling in their mindset, who are regurgitating the same things that has been maybe they have been told by their parents. You cannot achieve anything. You're going to be a loser just like your parents, or you're going to turn out just like them. What would you want to tell them right now?
Yeah. One, it's an inside job. You can't get your motivation from the outside. It really is about inspiration. And what I always say to my clients is that first we have to figure out what makes you happy. What is your, everyone says, what's your why? And I know that's so hard for so many people to figure out. So I started saying, okay, what makes you really happy? What inspires you to get up, spring out of bed every day, spring out and say that, this is my vision. No one's going to stop me. Get out of my way. Don't tell me I can't. I'm going to go make my mark in the world, right? And be significant and leave a legacy for so many others behind me. And this becomes an inside job. So it's what really, really inspires you. What do you really, really love and like to do, and do it for yourself. Don't wait for it. Don't wait to live your legacy while you're building it. Live your legacy today. Today's the day to do, to live that legacy. And my mom had this saying, and I'm just going to say this just because we could be looking in the mirror too, but we flatter those we scarcely know. We please the fleeting guests, but we deal many a thoughtless blow to those we love the best. We have to love our family. We have to love ourselves. It's the only way this is going to go forward. And you have to believe that it's in you. Your gift may not be my gift, but it's your gift. And your gift has to be opened for the world to see so that you can accomplish everything that you dreamed of.
Amen to this, Jen. I just get, such empowered by just what you just said. And I know it's going to impact so many lives who are going to watch your segment. And guys, we want to thank you for being with us this moment and taking this time to maybe empower yourself. And I hope tomorrow you will wake up with more dreams and understanding how to charge yourself, because you can, despite of what the voices are saying. And remember, legacy is not what you leave for the world. Legacy is what you leave in the world. So I bless you all, and we will see you next time.